Hi, my name is Daisy Manako, and I'm going to be discussing my proposal on overparenting. Overparenting is defined as excessive involvement in the day-to-day life of one's child or children, typically in the desire to shield them from difficult situations or to help them succeed. For example, rather than teaching problem-solving and coping skills, they intercede so the child doesn't have to deal with problems. They are determined to find ways to ensure the child succeeds and avoids failure. Essentially, in most cases, overparenting is when parents with good intentions subconsciously over-assist their children with daily tasks like homework, scheduling, and communication. These things are vital for children to complete on their own in order to build independence and lifelong skills. The problem with overparenting is that when these coddled children reach their adulthood, they are thrown into the real world with mental health struggles, unhealthy relationship habits, and no knowledge of how to navigate their own lives because everything was always done for them growing up. According to a study done by the National Library of Medicine, overparenting has been found to relate to a wide range of child issues such as mental health problems, school burnout, and poor relationships with others. In social psychologist Jonathan Haidt's video on overparenting, his research found a strong relationship between overprotected childhoods and very little to zero problem-solving skills once these children reach their adult years. Overall, unnecessary support from parents can easily turn into the child completely depending on them, often creating mental health struggles and limiting children's abilities to be independent and solve problems all on their own. The negative effects that overparenting has on these children lasts a lifetime and fully alters how these people act when they reach adulthood. The issues that come with overparenting do not only affect the children involved, but also the educators and staff at schools involved in this. I spoke with first grade teacher at Bayview Elementary, Haley Lawton, about her experience with this problem and the extent to which it impacts the students along with her and other staff members. Lawton explained that many parents don't encourage their kids to take ownership of their actions. Instead, there's often a lot of blame placed on teachers, other students, or outside factors. For example, if a child uses inappropriate language, parents might immediately ask, "Well, what made him say that?" instead of helping their child take responsibility. This puts unfair blame on staff and other students and gives children the misconception that their own mistakes couldn't possibly be their fault. These kids grow up to be adults who don't know how to learn from their own mistakes, making everyone else's lives harder. Some parents also have a hard time separating from their kids during drop-off, which actually creates more anxiety for their children. Lawton says she often has to explain that it's best for the kids to walk in and line up on their own so they can build independence. Lawton also said that many parents also tend to share unnecessary information like, "She's tired because we were up so late," or handle things their child should be responsible for, such as telling me, "He forgot his library book." These moments might seem small, but they really add up. Kids miss out on learning responsibility, problem solving, and accountability because their parents step in too much. Although overparenting happens most often by accident and from a place of love, that does not take away from the negative effects that these unhealthy parenting habits have on children and others. I propose that schools offer ways to support and teach parents how to effectively parent without overstepping. This could be done through things like mandatory seminars or workshops that offer information on beneficial parenting methods, and also one-on-one sessions with school counselors that provide advice for how to deal with situation-specific parenting obstacles. The plan itself is very straightforward. Schools, specifically elementary schools, would provide parents and caregivers with multiple resources to learn about and discuss parenting versus overparenting. With this plan, schools would host yearly mandatory trainings focused on beneficial parenting methods and ways to avoid overparenting. Each session would include an informative presentation from a professional, with also a discussion time for small groups of parents to go over what they learned, share their own parenting experiences, and also receive advice from each other. Once the small groups discuss and share experiences, they can go over a variety of parenting scenarios and decide the best way to approach each scenario. For example, groups would discuss the best way to handle their child forgetting to bring their homework to school. They would possibly talk about why it would be better to stay out of the situation and let their child face the minor consequences of forgetting their homework, rather than stepping in and bringing their child their homework or complaining to the teacher. With this plan, another way that schools could support parents in learning how to effectively parent would be to offer one-on-one sessions with parents and school counselors. During these meetings, parents could ask personal questions and explain problems that they've been having with their own parenting and relationship with their child. Counselors would offer advice and information, and they would explain how and why their advice would help this specific situation. Providing parents with this information and support would work because in most cases, overparenting occurs because parents have no clue they're even doing it in the first place, and they're not educated enough to understand how to change their methods. Parent coach and psychologist Jeffrey Bernstein interviewed parents about their experiences and obstacles with parenting. One mom said to him, "I just want my daughter to feel safe and confident, but the more I help, the more she panics when I'm not around." Bernstein explains how the 11-year-old daughter refused to order her food, froze on school projects unless her mom was beside her, and melted down if a plan changed. The mother was exhausted, the daughter was overwhelmed. Neither of them knew how to break the cycle. Most parents don't even understand how their parenting is negatively impacting their children, and they don't have the resources to figure out alternative ways to parent. The trainings and one-on-one counseling sessions that I'm proposing would significantly help solve this issue by providing parents with information and personal advice. This solution is feasible because it is based on already existing school practices. It is very standard for schools to host things like trainings and seminars and parent-teacher conferences, so a solution like this would not require a lot of new resources or planning. Therefore, adding one parent meeting a year would be a very easy and beneficial way to solve this problem. So would having some optional support with the one-on-one counseling. Some challenges that may come with this proposed solution are attendance and denial. Many parents do not even recognize a problem with their parenting and relationship with their kids, and they may not feel the need to attend the trainings. Similarly, many parents who do acknowledge that there is some kind of problem are in denial that the root of the problem could ever be their fault. This may lead to parents refusing to listen to advice or change their parenting habits. Although some parents may skip the meetings or deny that there is a problem in the first place, the trainings and one-on-one meetings would be designed to feel supportive instead of judgmental. This means that parents who are skeptical of the idea would gradually become more and more open to the idea of changing their habits because they feel supported to do so instead of judged. Also, if some parents choose to not attend the yearly training, just holding the trainings in the first place will spread awareness and spark conversation about the topic, ultimately reaching the skeptical parents. As you can see, the effects of overparenting are tremendous on children, often leaving them with lifelong challenges such as mental health problems and a lack of problem-solving skills. My proposal that provides parents with the support and education needed to correct their overparenting habits and avoid it altogether would help create more self-sufficient and resilient people in the long run, overall benefiting individuals, families, and society as a whole. Thank you.